Okay. The previous lecture we have seen the polymorphism. So what is a polymorphism means? This polymorphism is made of two Greek words, poly and morphos. The meaning of poly means many and morphos means forms or different forms. So for a polymorphism can be defined as the process in which various form of single function can be defined and utilized by different object of then such a process is said to be a polymorphism. So yesterday, the previous lecture we have also seen there are two types of polymorphism: runtime polymorphism and compile time polymorphism. So we have seen the example of runtime polymorphism is a virtual function, and example of compile time polymorphism is the function overloading and operator overloading. Now today we will see what is the operator overloading. So the previous lecture we have also seen what is the function overloading, which is a part of compiled polymorphism, right? So what is a function overloading means? So we can define a multiple function with the same name without any problem in C++, and such a concept is known as function overloading, right? So but there are some rules to overload a function. Our first rule is the function can be differentiated in terms of in terms of the argument type. Means we have to define the argument of the function different, right? So we can differentiate the function in terms of the argument type. Then second one is we can differentiate the function in case of number of argument if our argument types are same. So this is again the second point. We can differentiate the function in terms of the number of arguments if our argument types are same. Then next, third rule is in case if both type and the number of arguments are same, then the function can be made different by changing their sequence of the argument. So we have to change their sequence of the argument. And the last rule is if the none of above these three rules are satisfied, then we can't overload the function. So there are total four rules to overload the function. Fine. So yesterday we have also seen the example one program on function overloading. Now today we will see the operator overloading. So what is the operator overloading? So this is again one important feature of C++ language. So in this case, in case of operator overloading, we have to use the operator function first of all. Okay. So we will see today operator overloading. Okay. So what is the operator overloading means? In this case, we have to use the operator function. Now, what is the meaning of operator function? We will see. So what is the meaning of operator function is we can relate the operator with the member function, then that concept is said to be a operator function. Means we can relate operator, any operator, with member function. We can relate the operator, any operator with the member function, then such a type of function is said to be a operator function. Okay. So the first of all, we have to use the operator function in operator overloading. Fine. So it can be defined as the capability to relate the existing operator with the member function, then the result is generated and that result is said to be a operator function. Okay, and that operator function may be used with the object of its class without changing its nature. Means we can access that operator function using the object of that class without changing its nature. Okay, so operator overloading is performed with the help of keyword operator, and this keyword defines a new action or the operation for the existing operator. Fine. So how to define the operator function? So we have to use the operator keyword for defining the operator function. Okay, use operator keyword. So we have to use the operator keyword for defining the operator function. So first of all, in case of operator overloading, we have to use the operator function. So what is operator function means? We have to relate the existing operator. Everyone knows what is an operator? The symbol which is used to perform some operation, then such a symbol is said to be a operator. So what are the different types of operator we have seen in the previous section? Plus operator, minus operator. There are different operator which is used in C++, right? So plus, minus, multiplication, division, these all are the operators. So we have to overload these operators in case of operator overloading. So for that reason, we have to create a operator function. So how to create a operator function? So we have to relate the different operator with the member function, then it is called as operator function. Okay, so to define the operator function, we have to use the operator keyword, and to access the operator function, we have to create an object of the class. Fine. So now we will see how to create an operator function. So the syntax for creation of operator function. So how to create an operator function? The syntax is, we know that for defining a member function, we will use the return type first. So return type. So this is also a operator function, is also a function. So for that reason, we have to use firstly the return type. Then, as we know that for defining the operator function, we have to use the operator keyword. So here, operator keyword. This is the operator keyword. Then in this case, we have to define the operator type. You can define operators, any operator, or operator symbol. We can say operator symbol. Any operator, plus, plus, minus, minus, plus, multiplication, division, subtraction, any operator you can use over here instead of operator symbol, right? And after that, as we know that every function accepts some argument. If any function has argument, then you can specify in rounded brackets. So here is argument. Okay, and every function has some blocks, and that block has some statements. So in this way, you can define the operator function like this. Firstly, you have to define the return type. The return type must be any return type or any data type among the void, integer, float, character, double, or anything. So the return type should be void, int, float, char, double, anything. Then you have to define the operator keyword. This is the operator keyword. Okay. Then after that, this is the keyword. And here is operator symbol. You can use any operator symbol that you have to overload. Suppose I want to overload the plus operator, then I can use a plus over here. Suppose I want to use the plus plus operator, then you can use a plus plus operator. Suppose I want to overload the minus operator, then you can use operator symbol as a minus, etc, etc, etc. There are various types of operator, and we have studied that operator: unary operator, binary operator, and ternary operator, right? So you can use, instead of operator symbol, any symbol, plus, minus, the operator which you want to overload. You can define that operator over here, or you can define their symbol over here. Then if our operator function accepts some argument, then you can define the argument over here in rounded bracket. If our operator function doesn't accept any argument, then you can use the empty brackets over here. Okay, and you can write a code or this step of set of statements in curly bracket open and curly bracket closed. Okay, in this way you can define operator function. Are you getting how to define operator function? As we know that there are various kinds of operator. So the operators are categorized depending on the operand, sorry, not operator. We can categorize the operator depending on the operand which is used in our program. So what is the unary operator? First of all, unary operator means what? The operator in which we can use only single operand or one operand. Operand means what? Variable. Unary operator means what? The operator in which we can use only one variable or one operand, then that operator is said to be a unary operator. For example, we have plus plus is the unary operator in which we can use a one operand. So here is one variable a is used. So that's why it is a unary operator. Similarly, minus minus is also a unary operator. Fine. Then next one is, there are various unary operators. We have studied this unary operator. Then next one is, second one is binary operator. Binary means what? Binary operator means what? The operator in which we can use a two operands. Two operands means what? Two variable. Then such a type of operator is said to be a binary operator in which we can use two operands or two variables. For example, we have a plus operator. Suppose here a plus b. So in this case, a is my one operand and b is my another operand. So in this case, I'm using two variables or two operands, so that plus is the binary operator. Similarly, we have multiplication. This is also a binary operator in which we are using a two operands. Then division is also a binary operator. There are various binary operator we can use in C++, right? So a divided by b is also a binary operator. And what is the ternary operator? These are the categorization of an operator. So ternary means what? The operator in which we can use a three operand or three variables. Such an operator is said to be a ternary operator. So in C++, there is one ternary operator, question mark and colon, in which we can use a three operands. For example, here I'm using expression 1, question mark, expression 2, colon, and expression 3, semicolon, right? So it will check, in case of ternary operator, it will check firstly the expression 1. If our expression 1 is true, then it will executed the expression 2. But if our expression 1 is false, then it will executed the expression 3. So in this case, I can use 3 operand, expression 1, expression 2, and expression 3. So these are the 3 operands. So this operator is said to be a ternary operator in C++, right? So these are the categorization of an operator: unary, binary, and ternary. Now, in case of operator overloading, we can overload unary operator as well as binary operator, not a ternary. Okay, आपण ऑपरेटर ओव्हरलोडिंग मध्ये हे दोन्ही ऑपरेटर ओव्हरलोड करणार आहोत. We can overload unary operator as well as we can overload the binary operator also. So firstly, before overloading the unary and overloading the binary operator, you should know what is a unary operator and what is the binary operator and what are that operator. So always remember plus plus minus minus, these are the unary operator. Plus, multiplication, divide, minus, these all are the binary operators, right? So now we will see how to overload the operator, or there are again two types to overload the operators. So as we can see, operator overloading, we have to use operator function. So in this way, you can define the operator function like this syntax: return type, operator keyword, operator symbol, and the arguments. Yes. Now we will see how to overload an operator, or there are two ways to overload the operator. Okay, so operator overloading has two ways or two types. Operator overloading types. So we can overload the operator, we can overload unary operator, as well as we can overload the binary operator. So there are two ways to overload the operator. We can overload the unary operator, then such a concept is said to be a unary operator overloading. Similarly, we can overload the binary operator, then that concept is said to be a binary operator overloading. Okay, now we will see one by one how to overload the unary operator and how to overload the binary operators. So in that case, we will see one first case, that is the unary operator overloading. One is unary operator overloading. So when unary operator is overloaded, the process known as unary operator overloading. So again, it can be done in two ways, using member function and using the friend function. Okay, if we overload the unary operator, then such a process is known as unary operator overloading. And this unary operator overloading can be done in two ways. First way is using member function, and the second way is using friend function. So first way is using member function, and the second way is using friend function. So we can overload the unary operator in two ways, using member function and using friend function. Now we will see the first way, how to overload the unary operator using member function. So first one is using member function. So in this method, the unary operator is overloaded using a member function of the class, and the required one operand is provided by the system using the calling object. So in this method, due to this reason, operator function does not require any argument. Okay, this is the main point. You can differentiate in member function as well as friend function. So in case of unary operator overloading using member function, only one operand is provided. Why? We have to overload the unary operator, and always remember, unary operator requires only one operand, single operand. And in case of the unary operator overloading using member function, we are providing that one operand by the system using the calling object. Means we have to send the one operand using the calling object. So that's why this operator function does not require any argument. Fine. So using member function, we need one operand, and this operand is sent by the system using calling object, using calling object. So no need of argument in operator function. Okay, suppose we want to overload the unary operator using member function. As we know that for unary operator only single operand is used, and we want to accept this operand from the system using calling object. When we are calling the object, त्याच वेळेस आपल्याला काय करावं लागेल, ऑपरँड पाठवावं लागेल. So there is no need of argument in operator function. Okay, now we will see the syntax for overloading the unary operator using member function. So syntax is we have to firstly define the class, then class name, curly bracket open close semicolon. Then as we know that class contains data members, so you can declare the data members over here. Under public access specifier, you can define a member function as well as operator function. How to define operator function? Firstly, you have to write a return type of the operator function, then operator keyword, then operator symbol, operator symbol, and here is no argument, because unary operator only one operand is required, and that operand is sent by the system using calling objects. So that's why there is no argument in case of operator function. Here I am not passing any argument to the operator function, because only single operand is used, and this operand is sent by the system using calling object. That's why there is no need to pass an argument for this operator function. Okay, so this is the syntax for defining the operator function using member function. So this is the member function of this class. So that's why I'm writing the operator function definition inside the class. You can define this operator function outside of the class also using scope resolution operator. जसं आपण मेंबर फंक्शन क्लासच्या बाहेर डिफाईन करतो युझिंग ऑपरेटर स्कोप रेझोल्युशन ऑपरेटर, सिमिलरली you can also define this operator function outside of the class also using scope resolution operator, or you can define this operator function inside of the class also. So you can see this operator function is the member function of the class. So using this we can overload the unary operator using member function. Are you getting how to overload the unary operator using member function? Means we can define this operator function as a member function of the class. Fine. So if you want, you can write down the syntax for defining the unary operator using member function. So in the above syntax, the operator function is defined inside the class. So it may be defined outside of the class also. It's our requirement, it's as per the requirement. Okay, the syntax is same in this case as we discuss while defining a member function outside of the class. As we know that how to define a member function outside of the class using scope resolution operator, similarly we can define the operator function outside of the class using scope resolution operator. Now we can write one program to overload the unary operator plus plus. Okay, so now we will take one program to overload the unary operator plus plus. As we know that plus plus, what is the use of plus plus? It will increment the value of operand by 1. And what is the use of minus minus? Minus minus is a decrement operator. Okay, and this is used to decrement the value of operand by 1. So it will minus the value of operand by 1, and the plus plus operator increment the value of operand by 1. Okay, so now we will overload this operator plus plus first of all. So we write one program to overload the unary operator plus plus using member function. Now we will see one program so that you can understand. Okay. Okay. There is one point is remain, how to call this member function, operator member function. How to call this operator function? So the syntax is, we have to use firstly the object object of the class, dot operator, then operator keyword, then operator symbol, operator symbol and rounded bracket open and close. So in this way, we can call this operator function, which is a member function of the class. Okay. So firstly, we have to create one object of the given class, and using that object, I can call this operator function. So how to call this operator function? Object dot operator, then operator symbol, operator keyword, then operator symbol and empty brackets. So in this way, we can call the function. So now we will take one example so that you can understand. So new. So this is a program for unary plus plus operator overloading using member function. Using member function. Okay. So we can overload a plus plus operator using member function. So firstly, include all the files. Hash include iostream.h. Then next one is hash include conio.h. Then we have to define a class. You can give any name for the class. Here I am taking the name of the class as a num. Okay. Next, curly bracket open, close, semicolon. You have to define a data members. So here I'm defining data members N1. I'm defining only one data members. It depends on your requirement. You can define as many data members as you want. So here I'm defining one data member N1 whose access specifier is a private, which is a default access specifier, right? So if I'm not specifying any access specifier, then it's this access specifier is private. So under public access specifier, I can define a member function of this class num. So I'm taking one member function void input. So this input function will accept the value from the user. Fine. So I'm defining this member function outside of the class. Okay. I'm taking input as a member function which accepts the value of N1 from user. Now I'm going to define one member function display, which is used to display the value of N1. And I'm defining one operator function, which is a member function of num. So how to define operator function? Firstly, the return type of the operator function. Here I am specifying return type as void. Then operator keyword. Here I am specifying the operator keyword. Then next one is operator symbol. I need to overload the plus plus operator. So its symbol is plus plus. So as it is a member function, so there is no need to pass any argument to this operator function. Either you can define inside of the class or you can define outside of the class also. Firstly, I'm going to define this operator function inside of the class, right? So in this case, I can directly increment the value of N1 by 1. So N1 is equal to N1 plus 1, as it can be incremented the value of N1 by 1. Okay. Now I'm going to define the input function outside of the class using scope resolution operator. How to define the member function of the class outside of the function? It's return type, then class name num, scope resolution operator, function name, and if the function has argument, then you should write the argument. But here in this case, input function doesn't accept any argument, so empty brackets. Fine. So in this way, you can define any member function outside of the class using scope resolution operator. Now, here I am passing the message to the user, enter value of n1, and this value is stored in n1 variable. Similarly, I can define the display function outside of the class, return type, from which class this display function belongs, name of the function is display. If any arguments is required, then you can specify in rounded bracket. So here I am going to print the value of n1. So n1 is equal to value of n1. Okay. Now next one is void main function. Here I'm going to create object of the class. So firstly clear screen. Then next one is I need to create object of the class num. So how to create object? Class name and object name. So here my object name is obj. Using this obj, I can call the input function. So obj dot input. Then next I can display the value of n1